Mother-in-laws are like sharks, and please don't get me wrong. By that I mean they are one of the most misunderstood creatures on the planet Earth. Hi friends, my name is Ankita and today's video is going to be a little bit raw one, a bit emotional one. I'm going to try and make sure that there are minimum cuts in the video. It's quite kind of going to be from the heart. Normally I appreciate scripting my videos beforehand, but today I have just wrote some pointers for the video and I'm just gonna talk about those points. And for those of you who think today's video is gonna be juicy, it's actually not. In today's video, I simply want to thank my mother-in-law for a few generic things that she did for me, and trust me on this thing, each and every single mother-in-law has done those things for the daughter-in-laws of the entire world, I guess. That is the sole reason why this video is in English as well, because if I did wanted it to be centric only towards my own mother-in-law, it would have been in Hindi, because I'll have to literally translate each and every single line for her, but I will do once this video is aired. Now my name is Ankita, and if you people are new here, then welcome to the channel. I have a son who's 3 years old, and now you people must be thinking what took me so long to thank her for some basic things. The reason was simple. Hours translated into days, days translated into weeks, then months, then years, and then it started looking foolish for me to stand in front of her and thank her for a couple of things that I want to thank her for. Now I personally know that this relationship is usually looked down upon from both the sides, be it the daughter-in-law or the mother-in-law, and I totally get it that this relationship usually is strained, but there are a few things that if we will keep in mind, I think this relationship won't be that strained as it is made out to be. The thing that you need to keep in mind is that how many times have you been in an argument with your mother? Like, if you talk about daughters, we have way too many arguments with our mothers. We get abused, we get beaten by our mothers as well. But when it comes up to the mother-in-laws wala stuff, we get all like feminism and all stuff like that. Like literally, you can simply avoid a particular situation if you think of her as your own mother and start behaving the way you usually avoid a conflict with your mother. What I normally do is I would normally try to stay quiet if there is a conflict between me and my mother-in-law, but still I didn't got that opportunity of thanking her for multiple things that I did wanted to, and I just recently realized that I did wanted to thank her for a couple of things. And do let me know in the comment section below if there are certain things or the list matches, because I have made sure that the things that I am willing to thank her for are really very common, really very generic. I know sometimes in the middle of the video you'll feel that I am getting off the topic, but as I mentioned earlier, the video is not scripted. Whatever it is, it's just simply coming from the heart out. So it is supposed to deviate for a while, and I'm not going to trim it a lot. So just once again I'd say bear with me. So let's talk about the things that I want to thank her for. First of all, me and my husband, it wasn't a typical love marriage, but it wasn't a typical arranged marriage as well. I was a friend of his cousin sister, so he knew me, and it was he who told me that we should consider getting married, and we were the one who got our parents introduced. Which brings me to today, that my son, even if someone tries to give me a generic advice about his future, even about the schooling, how am I supposed to deal with him, I personally don't like it. I'm like, come on, you're gonna tell me, like my heart says this, I don't say it out loudly on the face, but still I personally feel like, why are you trying to teach me how I should try to grow my son? I can make choices about my son. Even I am so very selective about his toys that I don't admire anyone purchasing his toys for his birthday. I would normally tell people to buy this thing, or I would buy those things and ask them to pay for those things. That's how controlling I am when it comes up to my son. Then talk about my mother-in-law. She must have been similar in terms someday, like in the past, about her son. But then suddenly he grew up and she had to give up all her rights of taking any decisions about his life. And she just gave it up so beautifully, like literally like that only. She like this getting married to a person, it's just like the biggest decision of someone's life. And we like this generation, the generation of ours, it's like even if you are not being in a love marriage, like not 90% of these people are into love marriages only, but even those 10% people have their consent. So the concept of marriage has translated or transformed a little bit for this generation, of course. And the mothers, they are like so very accepting. That's what I am talking about, that they just simply accept you as a part of your life, a part of their life, and a part of their son's life. Like literally someone who was so very controlling about a kid. Like imagine, I simply got this idea only after I conceived and gave birth to my son, because then I literally realized that, I mean, come on, I am deciding each and every single question. This baby, this is like completely dependent upon me. And then someday he will grow up. He will grow up and he'll make his own decisions about each and every single thing, including his own personal life partner. And I'll have to be accepting about it. I'll have to be open-minded, just like my mother-in-law was. And that makes me think that how open-minded she was. You know, just accepting like that in the family. And that is something every mother-in-law does. Literally every each and every single mother-in-law, they are like that only. They have to accept their daughter-in-laws, and it's a completely new member in the family. Like literally when you bring a new toy for your son or your daughter, it is really very difficult to adjust with that toy. If it is out of place, you can even trip and tremble over it, fall off because of it. That is how difficult a small toy is. And then there is an introduction of an entire new member in the family, and you're supposed to just simply go ahead and accept it. And they do it like that only. Like the entire life of their son gets transformed. I have the authority on my husband's earnings. I have the authority of deciding what color shirt is he gonna wear. I have the authority of getting each and every single thing that he's purchasing first. If I want to give it up, it's perfectly fine. But the authority belongs to me because I'm the wife. I am the number one now. But wasn't that place hers before I came in the picture? So that is something I personally think we should be thanking our mother-in-laws for. Then the second thing that I want to thank her for is actually my son. Now you people must be thinking that that is the contribution of you and your life partner. How come you are willing to thank your mother-in-law for that? Come on, 25%, like 25%. Do the mathematics. Yeah, 50 you, 50 your husband, and your husband is 50 your mother-in-law and 50 your father-in-law. So that's that 25% of that son is from her. I practically can see, like my side of the family, none of us have a dimple when we smile. No dimples at all. Like you people can see, like that fake smile, forget about that. But still, we don't have dimples in the family. Like my entire maternal family, we don't have any dimples at all. But my son does. My husband doesn't has dimple. So from where did that dimple came from? It was my mother-in-law. She has dimples on her cheeks when she smiles, and they're really very teeny tiny ones. So they look very adorable when she smiles. So those are the dimples that have been given by her to my son. That is something that I would love to thank her for, because finally my house, like my family, has dimples, at least, even if it is only because of my son. Then still he has dimples, and it is simply because of her. And maybe you people might think that that is nonsensical, or I am not making a lot of sense. But even if I'm not making a lot of sense, just a little bit sense when it comes up to this thing, I think I'm making it. I'm making the point. Now, the third thing that I did wanted to thank her for was this outstanding life partner that I got. The kind of person he is, whatever, the personality that we have, the kind of person that we become, the aura we generate, the kind of aptitude, the kind of approach towards others as well as family members that we have. It's all because of the way that we have been grown up. And when you talk about the prior generation, we all know that the responsibility of growing up kids was solely upon the mothers, and fathers were the providers. So the kind of person my husband is at the moment, the kind of love he is giving me, the kind of provider he is at the moment, his aura, his personality, the way he respects others, the way he controls everything, the way he is the master of his own universe, it's all because of her. The way she grew him up, the sanskars that she gave him actually made him the man he is today. And I admire my husband a lot. Like personally, I know I don't feature him a lot. He's typically a little bit camera shy, so he doesn't admires being on the camera. But still, even though he doesn't comes on the camera a lot, trust me on this thing, he is a really very nice personality. He's a self-made man, and I can go on and on. When it comes up to my husband, I can go on and on about appreciating him, that the kind of person he is, just he's awesome, and I love him for the kind of person he is. But whatever he is, however he is only because of his mother, the sanskars that she gave him, that have developed his personality. So this was the third thing that I wanted to thank her for. Now, before ending this video, I did wanted to simply just talk in the first person and tell you, Ma, that we love you. We love you a lot, and we'll always love you. I know there are situations, I know there are things happening in the family that you might be feeling that are breaking the family apart, but they're not. And whatever happens, we are not going far away from you, like not even remotely. Trust me on this thing, you have given us each and every single thing that you possibly could have, and I admire each and every single thing that you have given me till date. So let's stop doing it in the first person's place and talk about everything in the camera manner. Many times this thing happens that we want to simply go ahead and thank people. We admire someone a lot. We want to become like someone, but we simply cannot. And we personally feel like that it is okay. Even if I haven't said a thank you to the person, why even do I need to say a thank you to the person? That is my mother. I shouldn't say it. Like, I don't need to say a thank you, but a thank you, or just those little praises or those little admirations, if you are like showing them quite clearly to the person, they just build up the confidence that is needed to lead the rest of the life easily. So whenever you get an opportunity, simply go ahead and thank everyone. Don't discriminate. Don't think that it is your mother-in-law, so you don't want to. And I know there are people who have very strained relationships with their mother-in-laws, but as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that I am going to go ahead and talk about generic things. And these are generic things that every mother-in-law has done for her daughter-in-law, like each and every single one. So I think if nothing more than this, then at least these three things should be thanked. So with that, on a happy note, I'd like to end this video up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, just stay blessed and take very good care of yourself. Bye.